Okay, so let's start working on the clavicle and the shoulder. Just double checking that everything's working. Alright, that's all great. I'm going to grab all 4 of those. Just zero them back out. Okay, so let's work on the shoulder. Now, I do want a little bit of motion, so when I grab this, I want to be able to sort of move it around if I want. Not so much on the rotation side, it's more translation, just for animation purposes. So if I'm so inclined, I could just shift the shoulder around a little bit. Okay, so pretty easy. I'm just going to grab the controller here. I'm going to hold shift and then grab the upper arm, release shift, and this is going to be a point constraint. Same on the other side. Controller, then upper arm, constraint point, and that's it. Now we don't have to use this, it's just there if we need it. Next is the clavicle. Again, make sure that your clavicle's center point, yours might still be in the center of the object like so. So what you do is you just hold Control Shift, or sorry, D and V, hold D and V, and then click this middle icon and just drag it over. Looks great. So what we want to have happen, this should all be zeroed out. If we want to have, what we want to have happen is when this rotates forward, we want the bone to follow. Now the bone might not follow because now it's constrained to here. Okay? So first we add it. So I'm going to grab the clavicle, hold shift, and grab the clavicle bone, release shift, and this is an orientation constraint. So constrain, orient, with maintain offset on. Same on the other side. Constrain, orient. Now, it breaks because this isn't following. Right? So what we do is we can grab the shoulder control and then make it a child of the clavicle. So I can grab shoulder, grab the clavicle controller and press P, and so now when it rotates, this has to follow it. Same on the other side. I'm going to grab the shoulder controller, hold shift, grab the clavicle, release shift, and press P. So now the clavicle will be pulling that shoulder. So that's it for the clavicle area. Then we could just, if we needed to move it, we can. Great. Let's work on the spine and head. So this is just going to be orientation constraints. So let's grab the spine control 01, hold shift, grab the spine 01, release shift, and we're going to go constrain, orient. Again, maintain offset on just in case. I'm going to grab spine 2 controller, hold shift, grab spine 2, constrain, orient. And then I'm going to grab the chest controller. I called it spine 03, but you can call it chest if you want. So I'm going to grab spine control 3 controller, spine 03 controller, hold shift, grab the chest bone, release shift, constrain, orient. Same thing with the neck. So I'll grab the neck, hold shift, grab the neck bone 01. Because this is going to be an orient constraint as well, I can just hit G, and G activates the last command you applied in Maya, in this case, orientation constraint. And finally the head, I'm going to grab head control, hold shift, grab the head bone, and press G. So now when you rotate these, there's the head, there's the neck, there's the spine. So it's working, but the problem now is that when I rotate, say, the spine, it rotates by itself. We want everything above that to rotate with it. Okay? So we do that by parenting. The head is going to be a child of the neck, and so when the neck rotates, that head follows. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab the neck head control, the head control 0, 1. Then I'm going to hold shift and grab the neck control 0, 1, release shift, and press P. You can see over here in the outliner that the head is now a child of the spine, of the neck. So when I rotate the neck, the head has to follow it, but the head can still move on its own after. Okay. Now, neck control is going to be a child of the chest. So in here, neck is going to be a child of spine 0, 3. We can press P. Grab spine 0, 3, hold shift and grab the spine 0, 2, press P. Now grab spine 0, 2, hold shift and grab spine 0, 1, press P. And we might as well keep going here. Spine control 0, 1, I'm going to hold shift, grab the hips, release shift, and press P. And so what that means is that now when I rotate, the upper body is going to follow. Right? See the chest and the head all follow. Okay. The only thing not following is obviously the clavicle and the shoulders. So these two, the left and right clavicle, they're both children of this chest controller, spine control 0, 3. So I'm going to grab both clavicle controllers, and I'm going to hold shift and grab the spine control 0, 3 last, that's the chest, release shift and press P. And so now what we get is when you rotate it, the whole upper body is going to follow. Okay, looks good. Okay, so let's clean off the hips so it works, and we'll set IK handles up for the legs here. Okay, so the whole upper body is working now. The hips part is working in terms of rotation, but it's not controlling the hips themselves, right? So we want to fix that. Now with the hips, we want to be able to rotate the hips, but also translate the hips. So this controller right here, this hips control 0, 1, it's got to control rotation and position. So that is going to be both point and orient. Now to get both of these in one, we can use this constraint called parent. Okay? So I'm going to grab the hips control 0, 1, hold shift, grab the pelvis, so that's the actual hip bone, release shift, and I'm going to go constrain parent options. The only thing we really want to make sure that's on here is maintain offset. And that's that. So that takes care of the hips now. When I translate, the body goes with it. When I rotate, the body goes with it. So that's looking pretty cool. So let's work on the legs now. Alright, so this is a similar process to the arms. Let's just make sure, let's take a look here. And it looks like we're going to have the same rotation issue as we did. We'll see what we get. Alright, so I'm going to go up here to skeleton,